From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Thursday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, topping the news this noon, the worst fighting in years between Israelis and Palestinians is not letting up. At least 83 Palestinians and 7 Israelis have died as the conflict threatens to engulf new territory. CBS's Ian Lee has the latest.
Another night of terror for people in both Israel and Gaza. Palestinian militants continue to fire hundreds of rockets. Home surveillance video shows one striking this man's kitchen, another slamming into an apartment building, killing a 5-year-old Israeli boy.
There was a big bomb. It was very, very frightening.
Israeli bombs are leveling their targets, like the 14-story El Sharouk Tower in Gaza City. We were on the first floor, says Khaled Al-Mafouh, when a bomb destroyed our house. The air war has killed dozens of Palestinians and at least 7 Israelis. But the conflict is different this time. It isn't just centered around Gaza. The fighting has spread to cities where Arabs and Jews live side by side. South of Tel Aviv, Jewish rioters attacked an Arab driver. While 10 miles east, this man says dozens of Arabs attacked him when they discovered he was Jewish. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the anarchy, saying nothing can justify Jews lynching Arabs or Arabs lynching Jews. And while Israel's military trades blows with Gaza militants, it's the widespread violence that worries leaders and threatens to open a dangerous new chapter in the decades-old conflict. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Now, there is one place of calm in the region. That's at Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque. Thousands of Muslims prayed and celebrated Eid, the end of the month of Ramadan. Well, a national decision is already having an impact here in Montana as the list of Americans eligible to receive a vaccination for COVID-19 grows. The CDC gave the green light yesterday to using Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine in children as young as 12. Now, that's nearly 17 million more Americans eligible to get the shot. President Biden says by next week, 60% of Americans are expected to have received at least one dose of vaccine. Well, with the FDA approval, city county health departments across the state are already booking appointments for that younger age group. In fact, in Billings today, kids and adults were lining up this morning at the local clinic at the Shrine Auditorium. Now, part of that could also be a $50 incentive from Riverstone Health Foundation. The first 400 people to get their vaccine today will get $50. This after the health department received a $20,000 gift from a donor. And in Missoula County, health officials are already offering the Pfizer vaccine 7 days a week. Parents and guardians who have already booked appointments for their teens are asked to not cancel simply for the sake of getting an appointment sooner. An adult must be present during those appointments. And more than half of adults think proof of vaccination should be required for anyone who wants to attend a sporting event. Some professional sports teams are already including a section in their stadiums for only vaccinated fans. Now, that includes the LA Dodgers, New York Giants, San Diego Padres, and the Miami Heat. And it's now time to check in on the weather scene. It's a little bit wet out there today, Miller.
Just a little bit. Yeah, and we can really use the rainfall, Jeanelle. Hey, folks, we've got the latest drought monitor. We're going to show you that in just a bit, but really no change, especially eastern and northeastern parts of Montana where it's extremely dry, and we can use any rainfall we can get. We do have a shortwave little blast of energy that is rolling through the region right now. You can see it's kicking up some showers near Jordan, Miles City, also some rain near Helena, Great Falls, and down near Livingston and northern parts of Wyoming. We still have more rain in the forecast. Not a whole lot of accumulation, though, to ease those drought concerns. We'll tell you all about that with the main forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Jeanelle.
All right, thanks so much, Miller. Well, just 6 months after overcoming a recall, the Stevensville, Montana mayor, Brandon Dewey, is once again under attack for his opponents' challenging of his handling of town business. Dewey's under fire for his administrative decisions with how the town spent its money. Last year, Dewey survived a recall. Now his opponents are filing 2 more recall petitions, this time challenging 2 more city contracts. However, Dewey says those contracts have council approval. The Ravalli County attorney is reviewing the petitions as Dewey gears up to run for re-election. Well, a new documentary filmed in Hardin seeks to raise awareness about Montana's missing and murdered Indigenous persons cases. MTN's Russ Riesinger talked to the host of that film to get her perspective.
I'm here to find out why this county, with fewer than 14,000 residents, and this small reservation border town Hardin, has been called the epicenter of the MMIWG tragedy.
As an Indigenous woman myself, my heart just completely broke for all of these families. I couldn't imagine what they were going through, and it's absolutely gut-wrenching.
Say Her Name focuses on the cases of Sarah Stopp's Pretty Places, Selena Not Afraid, and Henny Scott, 3 young Native American women who went missing and were later found dead. The cause of death for Not Afraid and Scott was determined to be hypothermia, while no cause of death was found for Stopp's Pretty Places, whose body was discovered in broad daylight near a busy road in Hardin 5 days after she was reported missing.
I know she was placed here, and there's foul play because she didn't just die from a drug overdose or a seizure or anything.
There was no help to them. These families, they have to do investigations on their own. They have to go out and find answers. They have to figure out and put pieces to the puzzle together and figure out what happened to their daughters. Why are they missing, or why have they been murdered?
All 3 of the families questioned what really happened to their daughters. Hayes believes there would have been more urgency with the investigations if the women had been white.
They kept telling me that maybe she's with a friend, maybe she's got a new boyfriend. Did you try checking there? It's like they didn't even want to help me.
The courage and strength that it took to relive the details of the worst time in their lives, they did with such grace. And they did because they don't want this to happen to anyone else.
Hayes hopes the 30-minute film will shed light on the MMIWG crisis and inspire federal legislation so that more will be done to find those who go missing and get to the roots of the problem.
Because national media, they don't really cover it. You know, it's not really something that you hear about. It makes these families feel, and it makes Native Americans and Indigenous people as a whole feel like we don't matter. Why is it that our lives, can just we could just be killed so senselessly and nothing happens? There's no consequences.
I'm Russ Riesinger reporting for MTN News.
Thanks, Russ. Now, Say Her Name is available to watch for free on YouTube. Well, we have more news ahead this noon, including a check-in on a recovering wolf at Zoo, Montana. But first, Miller's in next with your statewide weather forecast. Don't go away.